Welcome to Theme Weavers, your weekly wisdom for weaving yoga themes into your classes to inspire your students. We're your hosts, Heidi
and Farin. Welcome, Theme Weavers, where we are exploring the third chakra. We started our series on the chakras a few episodes back, so if you aren't familiar with the chakras, then be sure to go back and listen to episode 31 or season 2, episode 6 to get a general idea and get yourself caught up. Anyway, today we're here to talk about the third chakra. In case this is the first episode you're listening to, please go back to episode 2 of season 1 of Theme Weavers for details and background on the structure of how and why to weave themes through your yoga classes. If you choose to use today's teaching on the third chakra as your theme while using the gift of our inspo sheets, please find a way to turn our voices into yours and make this theme authentic to you specifically. Also, if you enjoy Theme Weavers and the content we've been sharing, please leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast, follow our show, and find us on Instagram to keep up to date with some fun reels and posts that we share. We're so grateful with how quickly Theme Weavers is growing, and that's because of each and every one of you. We're so grateful, and the more you share and interact, the more energy and excitement it sends to us. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, Farin, here we go. So before we begin our practice today, let's take a moment to explore the third chakra known as Manipura in Sanskrit. Manipura, often referred to as the solar plexus chakra, is located in the upper abdomen near the navel, also known as the belly button. Fun fact, in Hebrew, the word belly button is pupek.
Almost like pubic?
Almost, but not. Yeah, it makes me giggle every time. All right, you're welcome. Okay, so it is the center of our personal power, our willpower, and self-esteem. The third chakra shines with the energy of confidence and empowerment, empowering us to pursue our goals and assert ourselves in the world. The third chakra invites us to step into our personal power and embrace our inner strength. It encourages us to cultivate a healthy sense of self-worth and confidence, empowering us to take action and manifest our dreams. Manifest. By understanding and nurturing our Manipura, we can tap into our full potential and live authentically. All right, great. So how do we know if our third chakra is in balance? Because that's what you're all wondering, obviously. When Manipura is functioning optimally, oh my God, optimally, I can't speak today, Farin. Can you? You seem to be doing just fine.
I like
Is
the
this a Heidi issue?
Though. That's cool.
Optimally. Let me just say, for those of you listening, it is 10:10 at night for me. So I can say optimally. It's okay. All right. So when Manipura is functioning optimally, we feel a sense of confidence and empowerment in ourselves and our abilities. We are able to assert ourselves in the world with clarity and conviction, pursuing our goals with determination and focus. But if the solar plexus chakra is too open, we, on the other hand, might become overly dominant or aggressive, seeking power at the expense of others. And conversely, if it's closed or blocked, we might experience feelings of insecurity, low self-esteem, or a lack of direction in life. Okay, so lots of us definitely struggle with issues related to the third chakra, right? Don't you think? Not just me?
Yeah, definitely. I think more on like the blocked side, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's just like my personal like experience with other people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully with you there. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm with you. Just kidding. See, I was all insecure. Get it? Yesterday, I was driving my son and his two friends to their soccer game, and I made what I thought was like a very funny joke. And the boy in the backseat was like, "Hey, was that like a dad joke, except you're a mom?" Yes.
Aww.
Yes, it was. All right, that's okay. So a lot of us might struggle with this, whether it's difficulty asserting ourselves in our personal or professional lives, feeling insecure or unworthy, or struggling to find our sense of purpose and direction. These are all signs that our Manipura might be out of balance. And let me just add here, when I say this, it also makes me think, I know I often talk about in these episodes, we've talked about like, if you are not feeling great in your first chakra, then like your second chakra is not going to, like the foundation builds. But I can like already see how this leads upward to like the throat chakra, right? So we're obviously that's going the opposite direction, but like difficulty asserting yourself in your personal or professional lives means that like you have a hard time speaking your voice, speaking your truth, sharing your truth because you don't feel worthy about it. So like it's interesting how you can look at it in both directions, looking up, looking down.
Yeah. So like maybe that's
Sideways, left,
a,
right.
a blockage in your throat chakra, but maybe it's actually stemming from deeper, lower than that, from this feeling of insecure unworthiness from your solar plexus.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say, only not saying it right. Exactly. Thank
I
you
got
for
you.
being my voice of
I got you.
clarity. It's why we're a team. It'd be
Mhm.
really boring if one of us was doing this by ourselves because we need each other.
Yep.
We need each other. All right, cool. So fine, you're out of balance. But then to do the work of balancing out our third chakra, it means that we need to confront our fears and insecurities, to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace our inner strength. It asks us to cultivate a healthy sense of self-worth and confidence, even in the face of adversity. That can be super hard for many people, myself clearly included.
Mhm.
But when we do this work, right, for our third chakra, we can experience a sense of empowerment and self-assurance. We can stand tall in our authenticity, knowing that we're worthy of love and respect. Oh, we can pursue our goals with courage and determination, manifesting our dreams and creating a life of purpose and fulfillment. Oh my God, I sound like an advertisement for something amazing. Like, if you take this drug, you will feel all these things. No drugs.
If
No
you
drugs.
balance your third
Drugless.
chakra, you will feel all these things.
Oh my God, we could be an infomercial
Mhm.
for chakra balancing.
Yep.
It could be like a spray. It could be like a spray.
Dude,
You're like,
actually,
talking.
I have
Yeah, tell me.
sprays. I have a root chakra spray. I have, I think, a crown chakra spray. I don't know. Kelly turned me onto these. I don't even know what the brand is, but they're like the cutest bottles, and the essential oil mix and blend and whatever is in them, it like is supposed to help with those chakras, and I fucking love them.
Okay, and the Kelly she's talking about is, yes, Kelly Williams, our guest from the last episode of season 1. If you haven't listened, you should. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
Apparently, she has magical potions that can help you manifest your dreams and create a life of purpose and fulfillment.
Oh my God. No, they're great.
Or, I love that. I got to smell you when you put them on.
Yes.
Which
I
means that we
spray
need
them
to
in my
be on the same side
room,
of the
like in my
country.
area. Like it's not just for like a body spray. Like you just like, yeah.
It's like you sage it, but not with sage.
Yeah.
The chakra spray.
It's so good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right, that's cute. All right, so back to like pretending that we're in a yoga class. So as we move through our practice today, I invite you to bring your awareness to your solar plexus chakra, to the center of your personal power and confidence. Allow yourself to connect with the energy of Manipura, embracing your inner strength and courage for a practice full of confidence, empowerment, and purpose.
Sweet. I love it. I love the Dharma talk. It makes me like really excited for a class.
Yeah? What are you most excited about?
I'm just excited to see how the practice is actually going to play out. Like which postures are going to help me feel empowered, which postures, which like pranayama is going to help me feel like I'm worthy of love and respect. Like I'm just ready for this to go down.
So it's funny, I'm thinking to myself back to when we did our chromatic yoga teacher training, where we talked about not just, what we teach, but how we teach it and the way that we utilize our voice to create certain sensations. And like, you could teach a pose with a super grounding, earthy voice, and like, it's not necessarily going to empower me. But like, you could teach the exact same pose with like a super fiery voice that's going to like charge people up and get them moving and excited and motivated and like, yes, like you got this. And it could be the same exact pose and it would create a totally different feeling just based on the way that you deliver it to your students with your voice.
Yeah.
So like, it's not even just the pose, right? It's not just the asana. It's not just the pranayama. It's not just the mantra you might use, right? It's how you use your voice as teacher to create that experience for your students to like be like, yes, I'm in my power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I experienced that with when I teach my Kali asana class for the goddess Kali. It feels like
class.
It's like fire the whole time. I mean, it's not like
when you
I do ground, but like, yeah, it's
a lot of fire.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. You're doing some like crazy stomping transformation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's total third chakra class. When you teach lift and flow, are you in fire the whole time?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's fun.
great.
Like it's fun to think about how our voice can help be a part of our themes too, and how we can use that to help cultivate a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, that's such a good point of like how you teach it, how you say it. It's not just the postures, it's not the pranayama. Like you can look at our inspo sheet and do all of the things, but if you're not delivering it with some fire, then it's not going to land.
Yeah, it's not going to land.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to land. Just like if you're trying to do a first chakra class and you're delivering it all fire,
Yeah, that's
it's
not
probably
grounding.
not
That's
going to
scary.
land either. It's like, yeah, that's like, I don't know where I belong, and now I'm scared that somebody's going to come and kill me while I'm like not knowing where to belong. Like I'm feeling reactivated.
Yeah.
Right?
Great point. All right, but let's talk about what we would actually say because we have to say something. So
with our voice.
Yes, with our voice, with our fiery voice.
Do
Usually
this.
we use a phrase to drop the hammer throughout the class. So we come back to a specific phrase or different variations of this phrase to really bring your students back to your theme. And so when we're talking about the third chakra, we want them to feel the sense of strength, of confidence, feeling empowered. So what would you say?
I think I'd say something like practice standing in your power and embrace your authentic self. Or like, I like questions. So how could you do that? How can this pose help you embrace your own power, your own inner fire that can let you be authentically you? How can you show that right now? How can you experience that right now?
Mm-hmm. I would probably say, like, where can you find your strength in this pose? How can you let your physical practice match that energy? And maybe not even just like your physical strength, but like mental strength.
The mental is the most interesting part of the practice, in my opinion. Like, I'll just give an example of balance poses. I work with some clients who are students who are older. I'm trying to think of what the appropriate word would be. That they're just older individuals. And one of the things that they struggle with the most typically as they age is balance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's incredibly important because when you need to know how to be off balance to find your balance again so you don't fall and break your hip, right? Like, as let's be real, like that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're leading into the experience of working through balance with fear, and I see it because I go near the wall and they have like a finger like pushing into the wall, and I'm like, hey, what if, like, you're near the wall, but what if your finger's not there, and instead you press down into your foot and you rise up and you squeeze your legs in and you say, I am a freaking yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am a yes. I am going to balance. I am balancing. I am doing balance. And then they're like smiling and they're like balancing. And then they'll like lose it for a minute. And they'll just, well, I'm like, no, that was a no. You were just a no. You were a no, and that's why you lost your balance. And then like I hype them up, and it makes a difference when you go into it thinking that you can do something and what you're capable of. Like, you can actually do the thing.
Yeah. There's that famous quote.
What is it? You're good at quotes.
I can't remember who said it, but whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
I've never heard that famous quote, so it must not be
Really?
like crazy famous.
I think it was like a president.
No. Well, I don't know.
Let me see.
I love the noise of people typing.
Henry Ford, not a president.
He is not a president.
But he's very important. He created cars, or a company of cars.
The Model T. I did a report on him in school when I was younger.
And you didn't know that quote?
I was younger, and I am now older. I do not remember my elementary school projects as well, or maybe it was middle school, from the ripe age of 41 and a half. I'm not quite capable of that. No. Do you remember the quotes that you learned in elementary school? Apparently.
Maybe. I don't know when I learned that quote, but
I forget the quote. Like, let's be real.
You just forgot the quote?
Whether you can or you can't, you're right.
Whether you think you can or can't, you're right.
Yeah, this is why I don't plan my classes ahead of time most of the time, because like I'm so stressed out about trying to remember it perfectly that like I'm not even in the moment then anymore.
Yeah.
I'd have to write down a quote.
We'll put the quote in the inspo sheet. I think that works for this class, for third chakra. Yeah. To feel that confidence, to feel empowered, like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah, and like trust your inner wisdom and your intuition.
Mm-hmm. That's
like
another good drop the hammer phrase.
Boom. Drop it.
Trust your inner wisdom and intuition.
Yeah, those are good. Do you have any other ones?
I want to go with like that. You are worthy. like to make it almost like a mantra, or I guess say like turning
I
it
am.
in. Yeah, I am worthy.
I am.
And so like in whichever variation of a posture that you're in, you're still worthy. You're practicing yoga. It doesn't matter if your posture looks like somebody else's. Yeah.
It doesn't. In case you're wondering why I'm swaying, it's because in my head, I'm thinking, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? Oh, whoa. That'd be a good one.
We're going to put that on the inspo sheet too.
What's wrong with being? If you haven't seen Anne Juliet, the musical, they do that song in it, and they do the snappy thing where she's like, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? Whoa. Yep,
Night.
you're welcome.
Did I say night? I
Okay.
meant nice. I said night.
I mean,
Because I was
it
writing
is
confident
night.
and I was writing the T, so I said night.
It is night, and I am nice, and my singing is obviously beautiful. So there's all that. All right, so we have some great thematic through-line phrases plus quotes from Henry Ford. So how do we bring this class alive? What should we hit on? You said you were like super pumped and already thinking about our peak poses or specific pranayama. What else related to the third chakra?
I wasn't even like actually planning the peak poses. I was just like excited from your Dharma talk. I'm like, cool, what are we going to do? But like, I didn't actually think of what we were going to do.
You mean like you're pretending that you're the student sitting in my room and you're like, yeah, this is amazing.
Exactly.
All right, I hear you. All right, so let's talk it out. If you had to pick from your potpourri arsenal of yoga poses that would make you feel all fired up and powerful and confident and worthy and like just stepping into your own fire of amazingness,
I think
what would be the first pose that you pick? Go.
I think goddess pose or Kali asana, Kali, whatever you want to call that posture.
The class is so good.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really great one. But if I want to like challenge myself and think outside of the box, I would say I don't even think it's like actual yoga posture, but it would be like Tadasana with your hands on your hips.
What? Just standing up with your hands on your hips?
Just standing up with your hands on your hips and like broadening your shoulders, putting your elbows out wide, like taking up space on your mat.
Kind of like the Superman power pose.
Yeah, that one.
But not hands on the hip. Either hands on the hips or like out wide beside you. If you ever watch Grey's Anatomy, they used to do that before surgery. They'd be like, whoa.
Well, maybe that's where I got it from.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
No.
I think there was also a TED Talk on it. I think there was a TED Talk.
But I think it was a TED Talk that I maybe heard that from. Or
I
like
think
on
we had
Oprah.
to watch that in my like 200 hour. It's probably just like a thing everybody knows. I kind of prefer that we talk about, I mean, that's a good one. But like, can we talk about your Kalyasana Goddess Pose class? Because I think that is like, when I taught it the one time that I made a Heidi-ified class, using like the Kali sword and lion's breath, which you called a Kali breath.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most transformational, wild experience. And I was like on fire, and I felt like everybody in the room was on fire. And I made it more Heidi than Farin. Like I had to change it because I'm not you. But like the layering postures were very similar and the intentionality, it was very similar. So I think it would be really interesting to share it with our listeners, what you would do in that class, because I think it fits in beautifully here. But make it like a shortened version and how it relates to the third chakra on the fly. You got this.
Oof. To shorten it? Okay, so Goddess Kali, she's like a dark kind of goddess and kind of like destroys everything, but at the same time she's like very mothering on the other hand, and she's like protective. So there's like a purpose for her like destructiveness because she's trying to like protect. So I don't know how to shorten the story really, but she slays all these demons by cutting off their heads and then drinking their blood, because this particular demon, when the blood would hit the floor, it would clone the demon. So there was like a bajillion demons all around. So she would chop off their heads, drink their blood before the blood hit the ground. She like
Obviously.
killed everything. Yep, cleaned up the whole mess. She got into this crazy like Kali stomp rage at the end of it because she was just like so full of demon blood and like successful in her destruction and protection that she starts just like stomping her feet, and she's like in goddess pose, so knees are wide, arms are out wide, and she's just stomping and stomping. And so how that translates into class is just stomping the heels only. I mean, you could stomp your entire foot too, but we start by rising up onto the toes, stomping one heel down at a time while you're in goddess. And then you can use your Kali sword mudra by taking your 2 index fingers together, interlacing the rest of your fingers. And it's almost like Charlie's Angels gun. You know? Yeah. Yeah. So you use that sword and you use that to like slice away any limiting beliefs. Cause obviously like Kali doesn't have any limiting beliefs. She's like, no, I'm just going to get in there and freaking do the thing. So you use that mudra and like the motion of like drawing your sword and like
slicing it. Like,
yeah,
like reaching our arms up above your head and then like on the exhale, slice it down toward the ground. Slash those limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Slash the things that are holding you back from balancing out your third chakra.
Right. And then the Kali breath, which is just like lion's breath, is when you like stick out your tongue and exhale. And that also helps to just kind of like press all the air out, dispel any limiting beliefs, anything that's restricting your power. Yeah.
It's amazing. So I love that as the peak pose. I love the connection between that and the third chakra because I think that they really blend together perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And like the actions that you'd be working on are plantar flexion of the ankle, most likely, because you're doing so much rising up on the toe ball mound of the foot while keeping the thighs probably abducted. Because a lot of times when your thighs are apart and you rise up onto the toe, your thighs want to, not the toe, but the big toe mound, well, the whole toe mound, your thighs want to adduct and come back to center because you take away some of the power of the back of the body, the glutes. So that's really cool. So you'd have the posture and the pranayama, and you'd be able to relate that back to the, I think it's cool to relate it back to the third chakra.
Yeah.
Mythology and chakras.
Yeah, I like it. And I'm thinking about like the location of your solar plexus chakra, like by the navel. And I feel
you
like
could draw the sword down there.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I do draw the sword down in a class like that, it's like that's the ending point is down by the belly button.
I love that. And also like you had the mantra too, I am worthy.
Mm-hmm.
You get every time you slash it, I am worthy.
Yeah.
I am worthy.
Heck yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
I love that. While playing Confident by Demi Lovato.
Mm-hmm.
Or also, you know, the old school song Wild Thing. Wild Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Bah, bah, bah. You make my heart sing. For some reason, that feels very Kali.
Yeah.
She's a freaking wild thing.
I have a whole Kali playlist. Maybe I could like share the link to that instead of like songs on the inspo sheet.
So you do, and it's funny because I have one and it's different than yours.
Oh yeah,
because I can't play your music.
I'll share them both.
Our music's just different. And also, like, that's one of the only classes that I play music with words that are in English. I know I'm much more like ambient or chanting in my classes than you are. You play like
pop, hip hop.
Did we forget anything about the actual class?
I don't think so, because we got a mudra in there. We got a pranayama, which is the lion's breath, Kali breath.
We got a mantra.
I got a mantra.
A peak pose. Peak action with the plantar flexion with the abduction of the legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all in there.
I love it. Oh my God. Wrap it up with a bow. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So if this inspired you to teach a class on the third chakra on Manipura, then please download our really pretty inspo sheet found at themeweaversyoga.com/episode 34, where we list out additional inspiration related to the third chakra for you to help you take your class on this theme to the next level. And that sheet will put all of these amazing inspirational quotes, such as ones from Henry Ford, some songs that bring the theme to life, such as Demi Lovato's Confident, as well as mantras, I am worthy, mudras, Kali, specific pranayama, lion/Kali, postures, Kalyasana / goddess pose, and meditation. We didn't talk about that, but we'll have something for you to weave into your class. We have the class, we all have all the things, and it's time to wrap it up. Pretty bow. The third chakra reminds us that we are strong, confident, and empowered. May you stand tall in your authenticity, pursue your dreams with courage and determination, and create a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Namaste.
Short and sweet.
yoga teachers, go to our website, please, themeweaversyoga.com/episode 34. The link is also found in the show notes, and request the inspo sheet for the third chakra to help you bring this theme alive in your own voice, in your own practice and teaching. Also on this website, Farin recently added a booking thing in case you want to contact us if you're a yoga teacher and are like dying to be a guest on this show, because we do that, as you know. We have guests on. So if that's something you want to do, contact us, let us know. We'd love to have you, all the things. All right. And then you can also reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram or email and let us know how this specific theme lands too. We're here to support you, fellow yoga teacher, in your class preparation and delivery. So let us know how we can be of the most support. All right, tune in next week for another episode of Theme Weavers, where we will help you feel prepared to go on and inspire your students in your next class. Did I forget anything, Farin?
I don't think so.
Cool. So until next time,
we weave you in peace.